Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today is a exciting video. Eugene from You Smells Good is launching his own perfume brand, and I got a sample. Rich Mitch very kindly decanted me some and posted me a sample. I've got it here. I have not smelled it yet, and I wanted to read you the notes and a little bit about it first, which I'm going to take from Eugene's Instagram. So yeah, we'll read a little bit about it first. I can't pronounce French names, so I'm not even going to try. I'll give you the English name. But Eugene wrote, it is better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Who among us has not experienced the pain of loss mixed with the memory of love, transforming into the paradox of a sweet torment? Les Abstraits, and then the perfume name, which I can't pronounce. But the perfume name in English is the Exquisite Pain. So that's the kind of the inspiration behind the perfume, and the official notes are Bulgarian and Turkish rose absolute, patchouli, iris, clove, cumin, saffron, castoreum absolute, atlas cedar, frankincense, labdanum, opopanax, and myrrh, and the perfumer for this is Antoine Lee. So this is the sample, and I'm going to give it a spray, and we'll put it straight on skin, and I hope I like it. Okay. Rich did tell me this was like super strong and it lasts a really long time, so well, oh, I got a first waft of it in the air. It's nice in the air. Wow. I do like that. I was a bit worried I might not like it, to be honest. Just because I'm picky, but that's nice. The rose hits you immediately, you get this, and it's not massively dark. I get like a softer rose where it's not like totally deep red, maybe even there's a little pink coming in there. But there's this nice floral rosy accord. The spice element of it isn't like hitting me in the face, it's not knocking me out with spice, it's mellow, it's nicely balanced. It does have a subtle sweetness, and you get the feeling of the resins. First impressions are that my first impression actually was that it smelled a little bit feminine in the air from here when I got that kind of waft of soft rose. I thought, oh, that's maybe a little feminine. Now I don't. I think it's like totally unisex. At the moment, from a first impression, it's man or a woman. It has no kind of gender to it in my brain when I'm smelling it. I think it would work great on a woman, and it would work great on a man, so that's good. It has a lightness to it, even though when Rich was telling me about it, he was like, "Oh, it's really strong, it's potent," and I mean, I guess it could be, but at the same time, it's got an airiness to it. Like, it's not overwhelming me, so I think that's good as well. It's nice, you kind of want to smell it more. So I'm going to leave it on my skin for maybe an hour or so, and then pause the video, leave it for an hour, see how things change, and then I'll record again, and then I'll do the same in like 4 or 5 hours, and then in the evening tonight, at the moment it's like 12 o'clock midday, probably around 6, 7, 8 o'clock, I'll do the kind of recap of how it's changed throughout the day. And then hopefully I'll upload this video by this evening. But first impressions are, opens up with a beautiful, fresh, bright, clean rose. There's no kind of dirty element to it in the opening. Very fresh, very clean, very enticing. The resins are starting to come through more. The spice is subtle, it's mellow, it's not in your face spice. I'm glad that I don't smell clove directly, because I'm not a fan of clove. I don't get like memories of clove coming through, because I'm personally reminded of toothache with clove, because I used to put it on like the sore gum when I had toothache as a child. So I have bad memories with that, but I don't get it in here as an obvious note. But there is the saffron in here, listed on the notes. It does have a warmth to the fragrance, but again, not overly like in-your-face spicy, it's just warming. I do get a slight leathery vibe, so I'm feeling that the Castoreum Absolute is probably a little bit present already. I'll come back in a few hours and we'll see how it develops in the next hour or so.
1 hour later.
So it's been a full hour since I applied the fragrance. I would say so far the rose note is beautiful, kind of top note introduction. My favourite part of the fragrance actually is that initial blast, that initial top note of that beautiful kind of fresh rose. As it dries down, I found after 15 to 20 minutes the spicy kind of qualities came through more noticeably. I still don't get cumin, but I get a little bit of the saffron vibe. When you wear something like Tuscan leather, which is the saffron leather kind of thing, you get something that's a little bit, it's got a rough kind of texture to it, something a little bit rough in the nostril, along with the kind of warm, kind of spicy quality. And I get a similar kind of texture when I smell it, so I get like hints of the saffron. And as it starts to dry down a little bit more, I do get kind of a very smooth, subtle leather kind of note coming through a little bit. There is Castoreum listed. Certain resins can also give that kind of smooth, leathery-like effect also. But I get a little bit of a leathery vibe, subtle. You get soft resins, very hint of a sweetness. It's not a sweet perfume, but there is just a hint of a sweetness. The rose is kind of mellowed out, and it's going more into this kind of resinous, slightly leathery, and I would say the spicy notes as well. After a full hour, that kind of saffrony vibe is mellowing out, fading away. I'm getting more a combination of like smooth, soft resin, smooth, subtle, kind of light, leathery touches. That's the stage that I'm at the moment with what I'm smelling. It smells very nice. One of the words that I wrote down on my little notes was smooth. I think the whole thing is very smooth. Something came to my thoughts that if you imagine a painting on the wall that's framed, but you don't have a glass, there's no glass on the frame, it's just frame and picture, and then you have the same picture next to it, but there's a sheet of clean, clear glass in the frame. That makes a big difference when you're looking at a piece of artwork. It's cleaner, it's crisper, it's more refined, it sets the image off when the glass is there and it's clean and it's polished. This feels like it's got a layer of glass. It's a weird analogy, but it's what I felt when I smelt it. The fragrance is polished, the fragrance is clean, the fragrance is well balanced, and it's presented in a way that it's, like I say, got the glass in the frame. It's not just a raw picture, it's got the glass. What I'm meaning, I think, is that it smells high quality, professional, very well blended, very smooth. It's a polished product, so to speak. It's sparkly, not in a literal sense, but like in presented to the world, it's a sparkly, nice finish. This, in terms of like quality, I think very good quality. It can compete with, you know, a lot of higher kind of end niche brands. Yeah, so far after the first hour, it's lovely. I like the progression. I like the opening top note especially is really good. And like I say, it smells polished, it smells high quality, it smells very good. So I will leave it till this evening, and then I'll come back with like my roundup kind of thoughts when it's like maybe 7 o'clock this evening. So I will see you in several hours.
8 hours later.
So the time is now 8 o'clock in the evening, so I've been wearing this all day. For me, as it dries down, it focuses more on the resins used. It's a little bit ambery, slightly incensey, and that's kind of the dry down. I do notice hints of kind of patchouli as it dries down into the resins and the base. So that's kind of what it settles down to. There is just a hint of sweetness in this. It's definitely not a sweet perfume, but there's just a mild sweetness, possibly just coming from the resins themselves. But it just dries down into this kind of very nice kind of skin scent, like ambery kind of accord, which is very pleasant. There's not a single part of the fragrance that I didn't like. I think the whole thing smells very good. I think it smells very good quality. If it was in a MFK bottle or an Amouage bottle, I don't think anyone would kind of bat an eyelid in terms of quality. That it's up there. You know, good quality perfume, well blended, well executed, very smooth, very likable. I think Eugene's put together a very nice fragrance. I really enjoyed the opening. The opening top notes of that rose, that fresh kind of bright rose is lovely. So what I will do is I will wear the sample through the rest of it and get a good feel for longevity, projection, and kind of how it develops more on, you know, throughout the day, you know, in different wearings, because some days you might pick something a little bit different up. So I'll do that and do a full review later on. But first impressions, very positive. It's actually kind of my taste, so I would wear that. I think it's great. I specifically really like the top note. The rose note in the opening is great, and yeah, the whole thing is very nicely done. Congratulations to Eugene. I think you've launched an excellent first perfume, and I'm looking forward to testing the rest of the sample. I think people that will get hold of it, if you like rose and you like more amber, resinous kind of scented fragrances, then I think you will enjoy it. It's very good quality. I think very well done. Congratulations to Eugene, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.